Yeah, so I was hoping I'd have this miraculous tidbit of knowledge and thought and time well spent for listeners to just sink their teeth into. But I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything. I could make something up. I could go off about 2023 being weird. I could think about healthcare. I could talk about taxes. I could talk about business and how difficult it is to operate within the parameters of the setup that they have and why most people fail because it's such baloney. I could go off about customer service, like when you have to call into somewhere and it's just the ring around. And there's like these different flavors of the ring around the rosy of a customer service. There's you call and you go through 10 minutes of menus and the phone rings and then you get, oh, sorry, nobody's available to answer your call, and then they just hang up, and you got to do the same thing, and you do it 10 times, you get the same 10 results, and then it's because you owe somebody money, and then they call, and they're like, why did you give me my money? And you're like, dude, I called 10 times, you guys hung up on me. Oh, sorry, we're really busy around here. Oh, but when you wanted the money, you weren't that busy. Or there's no number to call. You know, the other company, there's no number to call, so you got to go to the chat bot. There's no email ever anywhere in existence online. You got to go to the chatbot. Chatbot doesn't have your specific issue, and it just keeps asking you, "What's your issue?" We don't have your issue. And you're like, "Dude, this is my issue, you stupid fucking chatbot." And then you put in 40 times, "Call me, call me, call me." And then they're like, "Oh, would you like a call?" And you're like, "Yeah, okay. Well, the fucking wait time's 3 minutes." And then you get an email, "Oh, we tried to call you, and you have no missed call." You're like, "What the fuck?" And you go back, and you're like, "Fucking call me, call me, call me." And then it's 6 minutes, and then you get a fucking email that says, "We tried to call you, and nobody fucking answered." And then they send you a fucking survey that says, "How did we do?" You're like, "Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit AI chatbot customer service. I know you're fucking with me." And there's nothing you can do. Like, if you complain, you're gonna fucking be fucking cancel cultured, and if you don't accept it, you're fucking horrible. And then the only other option is not to play ball. So like, we're doing no subscriptions. We're not fucking buying shit unless it's water, rice, or beans. And I'm fucking living in a fucking tent by the river because I don't want to deal with this. And there's that, but it really doesn't work. So you're stuck with the fucking chatbot that doesn't give you your fucking answer and says you missed their call and you got no missed fucking call. And the fucking, call in a million times and you get disconnected after nobody's available. So there's that. Read a couple books. This one, okay, so I saw that Lupe Fiasco was teaching a course on rapping or hip hop, or I think it was at MIT. And his curriculum said that they must read Exercises in Style by Raymond Queneau. So I bought it. I ordered it online. I wanted to know what my exercise in style would be. And I guess my idea of what it was and what it is was totally different, as it always is. Let me read you a little bit about Mr. Raymond Queneau. The French poet and novelist co-founded the acclaimed experimental writing group Oublipo, which included Italo Calvino, Henry Matthews, and Georges Perks. So this was written in French. The Shining translation by Barbara Wright was ranked first on Society Authors' 50 Outstanding Translations of the Last 50 Years. So this is a book of fiction, and it's basically, it was written in French. I don't read French, I'm reading the English version. So I know by speaking fluent Spanish that stuff just doesn't translate. And this is so abstract that I'm sure there's some lost in translation. That's why this version won some award, because of the way it translates. And, but it's one story told 99 different ways. And that is interesting. This gets into some really gnarly language. Not like bad, but just like where it's not even language. I'm trying to find something here that I can kind of read to you that you're like, oh my gosh. So out of 99, they get to the point, and then this is like super abstract. So, all right, I'm gonna read it how I interpreted it. It's called Telegraphic, page 107. Bus crowded, stop. Ying Ming long neck, plasticine, hat, apostrophes, unknown passenger, unknown apparent reason, stop, query, fingers, feet, hurt, contact, heel, alleged, purposely, stop, Ying Ming, abandons discussion, pro vacant, seat, stop, 1400 hours, place, Rome, Ying Ming. So that's not even, that's not even like I don't know. That's not even the ones like I was really thinking that. Oh, here's one. Here's one. Permutations by groups of two, three, four, and five letters. So I don't know if this is some sort of code or or what, but um, or like you have to like you know decipher it, which I guess maybe on multiple readings you would. But so like you're reading this and you're trying to absorb it as like for some sort of college classes in my head of how I'm approaching it. Ed on te a what it's you do hot and pull on us is on yeah. So that's this whole. This is 2 pages of. Okay, so that wasn't. That was just like 4 lines. Let's see. Here's the last page of the same one. So it's going from normal to just so abstract. And I don't even know how you would translate that in from a separate language, but that's only maybe like 4 or 5 of the 99 different shows. So it's not, and it's kind of cool because if you gave yourself a story to write 99 different ways, I guess you'd come up with that. So like some's like a sonnet, some's like um prose, and it just goes on. So this is what they kind of say on the inside cover. On a crowded bus at midday, an unnamed narrator observes a cranky man in an altercation. Later, in another part of town, he sees the same man being advised by a friend to sew a new button on his overcoat. Exercises in Style, Queneau's masterpiece, retells this unexceptional tale in 99 exceptional ways. The sonnet and the Alexandrian, onomatopoeia, even Cockney, celebrating the 65th anniversary of this book. So, glad I read it. Did I fully grasp it? No. Do I know why it's a masterpiece? I couldn't tell you. Um, I love the abstractness of stuff like that, and it definitely nails that. But maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I need to read it a couple times. I don't know. I'm glad I read it. I'm trying to open my brain passages to new worlds like that. But I don't know if you know something I don't. Please share it. It kind of went over my head, and I guess it might have been mostly because of the stuff where you can't even pronounce. It seems like a waste of paper, pages, or whatever. Also read another book since last we spoke. I went and tried to buy a bunch of books on writing, ones that were recommended online. This one was really good. Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. Some instructions on writing in life, and this is just like why we write. And I think it kind of goes back into exercises in style or being creative or where to get motivation. And it nails it, dude. This lady, I think she's when she wrote this, she was a professor at UC Davis, I think, and writing professor. And her father was a writer. And you don't write for money, you don't write for fame, and you write because you have to and you want to, and the magic that it pertains. And it really is quite moving. And I fully agree with a lot of said. So if you're a writer or you're looking to be creative, this was highly recommended, and I would highly recommend it. Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. Great little read in the writing section of your bookstore. So Exercises in Style, which is fun, and Bird by Bird. And then watched a bunch of movies. I saw, which I fucking totally loved, Made in Hong Kong, by a man named Fruit Chan, which is from 1997 in Hong Kong. And it's basically, I don't know, it's like a love story of the changing environment from where Hong Kong was now being taken over by China, or right at the cusp of that, and what was going on over there. But it is beautiful. It is kind of DIY, urban guerrilla type filmmaking in Hong Kong at the time. I really thought it was a great story. I thought it looked awesome. It's part of the Master of Cinema series from Eureka. I have it on Blu-ray here. Released to official acclaim in 1997, the year of the Hong Kong handover, Fruit Chan's Made in Hong Kong was praised as an anarchic masterpiece, a powerful distillation of urban alienation and youthful despair. Mid-Autumn is a small-time triad stuck in an endless cycle of pointless violence with no hope of escape. After he and his friends witness the suicide of a young girl, they embark on a journey to deliver 2 letters she had left when she died. Produced on a shoestring budget with non-professional actors and using discarded film reels for stock, the film was rescued from obscurity and fully restored in 4K. Um, so it's super fun, and I really did like it. I don't know. I thought it was great. There's a little booklet in here I read, and I'm sure that Mr. Fruit Chan kills it in anything else he does. and I went to the theaters and I finally saw a Godzilla movie, Godzilla minus one. I thought it was pretty good. It's brand new. It takes place in post-war Japan. A new terrorist arises, who's this giant Godzilla monster, and to tell you the truth, I haven't seen really any other Godzilla monsters from stop to like movies top to bottom. Like I think I've seen some on TV past through channels. I own a bunch on DVD, and I've always meant to like watch them all in a row. But this was the first one I've seen in theaters, and the first one I've really seen stop to start, and I liked it. I don't know. I'm not a giant monster movie fan. I guess I thought I was, but it was good. I don't think it was great, but I don't know the whole premise, and kind of cool they bring back the original soundtrack and stuff like that. Also saw in theaters Silent Night, directed by John Woo, who consider myself a John Woo super fan, and I really liked it. It is only rated like 2.5 stars, which I think I gave it 3.5. So there, a tormented father witnesses his young son die when caught in gangs crossfire on Christmas Eve. While recovering from a wound that cost him his voice, he makes vengeance his life's mission and embarks on a punishing training regimen in order to avenge his son's death. And that's what's cool. He loses his voice and he goes and he fucking takes revenge on the fucking gangbangers. So I don't know. I like that idea. I mean, just speaking it out loud sounds fantastic. But whatever. And I saw also in theaters Dream Scenario, directed by Christopher Borgili, starring Nicolas Cage. And this has got a 3.6. Basically, Nicolas Cage is this random dude. He's a professor who gets super popular because he's in everybody's dream, like doing nothing, which is a bizarre concept. I thought it was good. I don't think it was 3.6 stars, but again, see, look, I think one thing's fantastic and the other thing's not. So I guess to each their own. I thought it was good. I don't think it was great. It's a fantastic idea for a story, and it's cool that Nicolas Cage is in there. Hapless family man Paul Matthews finds his life turned upside down when millions of strangers suddenly start seeing him in their dreams. But when his nighttime appearances take a nightmarish turn, Paul is forced to navigate his newfound stardom. So he wants to be known as a professor of science, and he's just known as somebody in somebody's dream. So he's kind of dealing with that. But I think the concept, the idea is fantastic. And then I saw, which I've been trying to see forever, and I knew I would like, Barbarian from 2022, directed by Zach Kreger. Horror movie. Girl rents an Airbnb, and there's a secret dungeon in the fucking bottom that's been there for 40 years, and it's fun. I thought it was fun. I kind of thought I would like it before I saw it, and I'm not a super horror fan, as you know, but I like this kind of horror where it's like, I don't know, it's not as gory. At the end, it got gory, but it's not as gory and more scary idea. That's thinking like, dude, like these fuckers have a fucking realm under the house in Detroit. I don't know, but I would highly recommend it. Barbarian. A little bit hard to see. I saw it on Hulu, but like I don't think you can get DVDs or anything of it yet. But I think it was one of the better horror films of last year, so they say. And I also saw the premiere of Wonka, the Charlie and Chocolate Factory prequel. I thought it was good. Um, yeah, it's got 3.5 stars. I gave it 3. I thought it was fun. Directed by Paul King, starring Timothy Chalamet or whatever the fuck his name is, and it's a fun that style of movie. I mean, it doesn't capture the magic I think of the first one, but I did like it. And then I saw the Boston Strangler, which was 2023, directed by Matt Ruskin, based on the true story of the Boston Strangler. But what I liked about it was done in the viewpoint of specifically one woman reporter at a newspaper in Boston, and her obsession with the case, and pretty much solves it. Her and her friend, in a time of the '60s where women weren't doing stuff like that. And it's got 3 stars here. I gave it 3.5. So there it is. And then I watched what was this Vinegar Syndrome movie I had called The Scary of 61st, a film by Dasha Nekrosova. And it's kind of a, well, it looks like it's really old. So I watched it and I thought it was like old. It's basically these girls talking about they rent this apartment cheap, and it's where Jeffrey Dahmer used to keep like some of his mistresses or something. So it's like goes into this whole thing about, or not Jeffrey Dahmer, Jeffrey Epstein, and It's from 2021. I thought it was good, but it was just really weird. Two roommates live and end up ended are up. Two roommates' lives are upended after finding out their new Manhattan apartment harbors a dark secret. And the dark secret was shit used to go down there from Jeffrey Epstein. And then, like, at one point, she's like masturbating on Epstein's apartment porch, and it's like his real porch, I guess. They filmed it there. I don't know. It's fucking super bizarre in that regard, but um, I thought it was cool. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. Like the independentness of it, the idea of it, the female direction of it, I thought was fantastic. The subject matter of making a whole movie around this dude who hung himself and like the sleuths that are after him, I thought was fucking weird. But it's all good, whatever. And then like it's done in this grain, like it's super grainy, so it's like almost, which I love grain, great. I love the fucking grimy shit, but I think it was done like at post or something, like it's fake. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't fucking know. But besides that, it's an interesting concept. Not the best in the world, but I would check it out. I don't know. It's interesting. And then I've been watching like, okay, so there's this series, this quadrilogy, right? Not the trilogy, the quadrilogy. It's called the Franchise Collection Airport, which were ironically or kind of uniquely from 1970 to 1979. They made four movies called Airport. Airport, the movie Airport 1975, Airport 77, The Concorde, Airport 79, and I had never really heard of them. I think that's the spin-off that they used for the airplane comedy movies were based on this, maybe, or that's kind of what I would get because I know the airplane comedy movie, but these all take place on an airplane in an airport. I don't know any other movies that kind of just conquer a whole decade and then disappear forever, but I never really remember hearing about them. They're interesting. They're cool. I think they were like super high budget for their time, and that's kind of give you that feel like blockbuster. And I don't know. It's kind of fun to go back in time. So this is it's called the Franchise Collection. I owned all four of them and watched them all. First one I saw a long time ago, and then the last three I watched in between my last show and now or whatever. But I check them out. It's kind of cool. I don't know, blockbusters from back in the day that you didn't know existed. That being said, try your hardest, do your best, just read more books.